Now, if you connect all of that together, so since we know that the Bible identifies 6 a.m. as the biblical, when the biblical daytime begins, and 6 p.m. as when the biblical 24-hour day begins, we also have to recognize that the idea that Jesus is coming at the very beginning of the new millennium, which, by the way, already happened 20 to 23 years ago, because the Hebrew calendar is said to be missing 240 years. So, in order for Jesus to be coming back at the new millennium, now, which would be 6,000, the missing 240 years in the Hebrew calendar has to add up to less than 6,000. If you add up 5783 to 240, you get 6,023. Okay? So, the 7,000 year timeline would mean that Jesus should have came back 23 years ago. The Great Tribulation, the end time prophecies, the Antichrist, the Mark of the Beast and all that stuff, the rapture should have took place in the 90s. Somewhere around between 1992 and 1999. Okay? With Jesus coming back in the fall of 1999, because the Hebrew New Year is in the fall. So, the reason that we believe, the idea that Jesus is coming back at the new millennium is based on how we go by a 24-hour day. We measure a 24-hour day, but from midnight to midnight. Midnight, okay, for us, a 24-hour day begins at midnight. So, therefore, midnight on God's timeline is each Hebrew new millennium. Each time the new year hits a new millennium, it's midnight on God's timeline. It's a new day. But since the Bible identifies 6 p.m. as when the 24-hour day begins, and 6 a.m. as when the daytime begins, and the biblical workday is only done in the daytime, since the Bible identifies that, since the Bible identifies 6 a.m. the workday during those 6 days a week. Now, this is before in the modern day, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's when the workday was, according to Matthew chapter 20, verses 1 through 16, which shows the biblical workday. That's what that parable shows us. One of the things we can learn from it. So 6 days you should work. I mean, we know that they didn't get up to work each day at midnight. And we know that the workday from that parable ends at 6 p.m. So, what we would call Friday evening, presumably, at Friday evening at 6 o'clock, at the end of that workday, they could not go back to work until Monday morning. Until what we would call Sunday morning, about 6 a.m. Even because the next day, Saturday evening, 6 p.m., it would already be too dark to work. Now today, thanks to modern technology, meaning the electricity and stuff, now that they could probably go back to work Saturday at 6 a.m. thanks to modern technology, electricity and lights and stuff. But back when that was originally given, they probably had to wait until Sunday morning because Saturday evening work was already done, and they got up to work in the morning. It's what we would call 6 a.m. Okay, why is it called? Why is 9 a.m. referred to as the third hour? Why is 12 o'clock later the 6th hour? Why is 3 p.m. the 9th hour? Why is 5 p.m. the 11th hour? Just think about that. They all identify 6 a.m. as the biblical first hour of the daytime, which is when the work hour began as well. Okay?